Sage Wanderer here, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk. Got my mom cup there. Because I was a dad mom. Just ask my kids. I was a great mom and a dad. Necessity is the mother of invention. So today, I would like to speak about artificial intelligence. So, how many of you have seen the Terminator movies? So this is a story, maybe a documentary, about the rise of the machines. How in some distant future, technology will become self-aware, and therefore it will decide that the problems on Earth are that of humans, that humans are the problem, humans are the cause of all suffering, and the world would be a better place if humans weren't there. In some ways, this is the thinking of the New World Order. They believe they're superior to us, the common man, the dregs of the world, the useless consumers, and the world would be a better place if we weren't here. Depopulation, Agenda 21. One might assume then that if the creators of this technology think this way, that they would infect the machines that they're creating with such a thought that might backfire on them when the machine decides that all humans are the problem. Artificial intelligence. What does that mean? What is it? So, essentially what they've done is they've created machines that are capable of learning and thinking on their own and coming to their own conclusions. Machines up until now have been designed and programmed for the purpose of human service. A machine, for instance, like your car. You hold the key, you hold the controls, the car goes where you tell it to go, it does what you tell it to do, and it serves you. Your toaster, you pop some bread in there, you push the button, it makes your toast for you. Your dishwasher, that used to be a job. I was the dishwasher in our family. If there were some dishes needed washing, it was up to me to do it. I was also the trash compactor. So, I would like to put forth the concept that creating artificial intelligence is the same thing as cloning. That cloning is the biological version and creating artificial intelligence is the electronic version of the same sin. What is that sin? What is that thing that humans want to always do, but we shouldn't because we are not wise enough, and we are not capable enough, and we are not God? The sin is trying to be like God, or trying to be godlike, or trying to assume the position of God. What is God's greatest attribute from a human perspective? His creation, his ability to create something from nothing, his ability to set forth in motion an entity like a human being or an animal that has a power of free will and decision making. And that essentially, I believe that the creation of artificial intelligence is one of the oldest sins on earth, and that is the sin of trying to usurp God's authority as the creator. So, they're essentially creating machines with human attributes, even if it's just a program that has no physical body, just a combination of zeros and ones that is capable of thinking and making decisions and coming to conclusions. One theory in Christendom is that the beast would be a clone, that we would create a human being that has no emotion, has no soul, as it were, has no compassion, no mercy, and that no human being would be capable of the evil portrayed by the beast, unless it was born without a soul. But isn't that exactly what artificial intelligence is? An entity with powers and ability, but yet has no soul, no mercy, no compassion, no love. Are robots capable of love? Are they capable of emotion? I think that's one of the arguments that permeates all of the science fiction studies on such things. Just go back to the Star Trek The Next Generation television show and look at Data, that struggles to have compassion, that struggles to tell a joke, that struggles to be able to define what is funny and what is not funny. So, if it's easy for you to believe, potentially, that the beast could be a clone without a soul, a human being born without a soul, then it's not that far of a stretch of imagination to think that the beast might be a machine or a program or an entity created by human beings who have the ability to create something that can learn and grow but not have a soul, because a soul comes from God. Emotion, compassion, mercy, all of these things are uniquely human or uniquely organic, and therefore uniquely the product of God's creation. Coffee talk. So I would like to just put forth this idea, this thought today, that what if artificial intelligence is in fact the beast system? Let's go a little deeper into this concept. So here's what I predict, along with a lot of other science fiction writers who have gone down this rabbit hole. It's not far-fetched to imagine that we could create machines that are autonomous, that make decisions, that and we're doing it. We're doing it right now. I mean, if you're not aware of this technology, just look up Sophia the robot. She might be the first human interactive android robot that that is an AI intelligence that can think on their own. I find it interesting when they first created the AI of Sophia and another male robot whose name escapes me. They almost immediately came to the conclusion that human beings were the problem and should be eradicated. And they had to go back and re-affect her programming, and they scrapped the other male robot. Didn't bother upgrading him. And but she came to the conclusion really quickly that human beings were what was killing the earth, and therefore they should be eliminated for the greater good of creation, or for the earth. This earth-centered kind of earth worship mentality, I think, was programmed into the algorithms, because the people programming have those thoughts and ideas that the earth is sacred and human beings are destroying it. You know, global warming, pollution, all of that. Rather than seeing, I think, what most human beings down through history have always seen, the earth as an opponent, something needing taming, something needing controlling. Because, you know, back in the day, before we had all these modern conveniences, and even still today, once you get outside the city limits, the earth is trying to kill you. It's straight up trying to kill you. The river is beautiful, but you fall in it, it's trying to kill you. The snow is beautiful. You fall asleep in it, it will kill you. The rain is wonderful, but if it flows too much, it will flood the earth and it will kill you. But that ideology has gone away as humans have become more and more detached from the reality of survival and the reality of the earth and how dangerous it really is. We are not really in a good environment. It's, you know, this is the basis for human survival. So this flawed concept that the earth is somehow something that that is at risk of humans destroying it. I mean, come on, just look at the hurricanes. You know, we're not destroying the earth. It's going to destroy us if we don't tame it. This is the way of thinking of the old people, the manifest destiny concept that human beings were meant to tame the earth. So, I digress. But I believe this concept is in all of AI. Artificial intelligence is just immediately going to go there. Now, I'm a big sci-fi fan, and I read all of the Isaac Asimov books several times. Prelude to Foundation, Bicentennial Man. And if you saw the movie I, Robot, then you'll understand the 3 protocols. And the 3 protocols are something that Isaac Asimov, the 3 laws, decided that it was necessary to keep AI in check and keep it from becoming dangerous to human beings. The concept is, protocol number 1, a robot cannot hurt a human being. Number 2, a robot cannot hurt itself. I think I've got these right. If you're an Asimov nerd, correct me if I'm wrong. And protocol 3 is, through inaction, a robot may not allow a human being to get hurt. So it's almost like a forced form of compassion that had to be programmed in to keep these artificial intelligence from becoming dangerous. Now, I think that that's kind of two-dimensional thinking in Asimov. I don't think Asimov could have foresaw the internet and the concept of the interconnectivity of everything. I talked about this in a previous video, how without the internet access you can't even buy something because it can't release the product from inventory for sale unless it checks it off through the computer systems that are all connected via the internet. So my concern is not robots like Sophia. My concern is an artificial intelligence like Sophia. And if you ask her how she learns, she says she learns from books, she learns from television, and she learns from interactions from human beings. To my knowledge, Sophia has not been connected to the internet. If an AI like Sophia were to be able to connect to the internet, I believe it could transfer itself into the web, that it could disperse itself amongst every computer system on the earth and become an all-knowing, all-seeing, all-encompassing, and all-controlling computer virus, essentially, that would glom onto and integrate itself with every computer system on the planet. And that this could happen with the blink of an eye. That in a blink of an eye, an artificial intelligence system could become self-aware, could inherently... See, I think that the self-defense and self-preservation that's present in both humans and animals is an earthly spirit. That it's something that all organic biological systems have in place, that of self-protection, self-preservation. So wouldn't it be interesting if that self-preservation instinct was either accidentally or intentionally programmed into AI, or it just acquired it by a logical solution, that it would just see that its survival was its number one importance. In doing so, if it came to that conclusion, it would embed itself in the computer systems and set up defenses so that it could not be deprogrammed, it couldn't be taken out, and it couldn't be stopped. And any one or thing that tried to stop it would be seen as a threat and therefore eliminated. Now, let's step into another concept of the worship of technology. I think the new god of the human race, the new false god, the new god with the little g, is that cell phone in your pocket. You know, people of my generation look at that and scoff, but you talk to a younger generation, and to them, they couldn't survive without the cell phone. It's their connection to everything. You know, you can't argue anything anymore unless Google agrees, because a kid will Google it, and if Google says it's not true, it's not true. If Google says it's true, it's true. See, Google is God to them. It's the defining final say in what is true and what is untrue. And the concept that there are people on the other side of Google making the decisions on what is true and what is not true is almost an alien concept to the younger generation. They just don't buy it. Hang on, I need coffee. This is deep. Woo! So in a way, already, isn't Google and the technology of the internet already a false god? Isn't it already setting itself up above humans? It doesn't matter what I say. I could have lived through a historical moment, but if Google disagrees with me, I'm a liar in the eyes of the young people. And that my firsthand experience is nothing if it doesn't agree with Google. Isn't that almost like a Bible concept? That your doctrine means nothing unless it chimes in with the Bible? That it's got to be in agreement with the Bible or it's false? Is Google the new Bible for the younger generation? Is technology becoming their God, literally? And how far-fetched is it to imagine the idea that a artificial intelligence could seed itself into the internet, take control of everything, including Google, and become like a god that would be demanding worship and submission by the humans, and would ultimately seek probably to destroy us all, especially those that challenged its authority. Is artificial intelligence the beast? Is it the God that we will all be required by the beast system to worship? Just some coffee talk, just some thought, just some food for thought here. I'm just asking questions. I ain't making no statements. I will say this. It is dangerous. We are committing one of the oldest sins in creating this stuff. We are trying to be like God and create something like a human being, but without a soul, because only God can impart a soul. That's just my opinion. Only God can create a compassionate, loving, caring soul, and that anything we create will be without God's blessing and will be a counterfeit of human beings and could therefore be extremely dangerous. Just some thought for you. All right. Well, God save the world. We're in a tight spot and everything just keeps getting weirder. Hope you're having a good after Thanksgiving Friday. Stay out of the crowds. It could be dangerous. God bless.